afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Tilson Live. It is Tuesday. It is 2 o'clock. We are live on YouTube, live on Facebook, as we are each and every single week, talking about all things building a custom home on your land. I'm Eric Allard, part of the fourth generation of the Tilson family, joined, thank God, as I am each and every single week, for your benefit and mine, by the great, the marvelous, and wonderful Dawn Dantzler, Tilson's Vice President of Marketing Customer Experience. Good afternoon, Dawn.
Hey, Eric. How's it going?
It's awesome. It's wonderful. Having a great time. We're got chilly weather. We got college football playoffs, whatever that means.
Yeah.
Yep. It's very exciting. Everyone's excited. But yeah, we are here on Tilson Live, Tuesday, 2 o'clock, and live on YouTube, live on Facebook, joined by all of our friends online. Please do drop into the chat where you're watching from, where you're building, what part of the process you are in. We want to hear from you. We want to talk about all things building a custom home on your land. Again, we're Tilson Homes. This is what we do. It's all we've ever done. We're one trick pony. The good news for you is if you want to build a home on your land somewhere in Texas, you have met the subject matter experts. We are here to talk about all that, answer questions about site preparation, customization, financing. Do we want to do driveways, septic systems, water wells, water softeners? All the questions that have to be asked to make this thing happen. Permitting, engineering, geotechnical investigation. What does that even mean? Who am I going to meet out there? What should I expect? What are my responsibilities? These are all the questions we're here to answer because it is very different than buying a home, whether that's resale or in a production subdivision. So we want to hear from you guys. Drop into the chat where you are watching from, where you're building, what part of the process you are in. You're probably decorated for Christmas by now. If not, it's not too late. Got plenty of time. Still solid 2 weeks away. No factor. So do jump into the chat, folks, where you're watching from, where you're building, what part of the process you are in. Dawn, what is happening around the Tilsonverse these days? And what do you like seeing? What's going on this time of year?
So it's a great time of year. We do have our final 2 seminars for the month this weekend. So those will be good. So we've got over in our Waco and our Bernie office. They're still doing their in-person seminars. And just this is a great time of the year to come and learn more and get ready for doing this next year. Or if you told yourself at the beginning of this year that you were building a house this year, like this is
not too late. It's not too late.
Not too late. Come on in. So yeah, there's lots of great stuff happening. All of the models are getting their Christmas lights put up. So
I have always been seeing that. Yes.
So all the decorating on that. So it's an awesome time to go and visit.
It's a good time. Yeah. Jose, Alex, and Brian have been very busy around the state, making it very festive. Our SRT elves are out and about doing what they do. I see ladders everywhere, and it's for all the right reasons. It's just for decor, not for problems, which makes my day. So that's always fun. And yeah, a lot of stuff going on, folks. So, but we are here to answer questions. So, Don will tell us here in just a second about what we're going to talk about today. But drop into the chat where you're watching from, where you're building, part of the process you are in. We can talk favorite Christmas traditions. We can talk that today because it's going to be that kind of topic day. We can talk about, but truly, site preparation, design, construction changes, energy efficiency, customization, anything you guys want to talk about. We are here to talk about those things today. So, Dawn, what else are we talking about today?
So we're talking about anything that you guys want to talk about. It's Eric's favorite topic. Ask us anything. So it's the day that you get to play Stump Eric and Dawn and ask us questions that we don't know the answers to. See if we can phone a friend and get the answers for you. But it's anything that you guys want to talk about building a home on your own land. We prefer if you keep the questions close to that, our answers are more accurate. But we'll give you all kinds of other answers and opinions that we have. But yeah, anything that you're interested in about building a home on your land and how it's different and what your next step should be depending on where you are in the process. Like we are here to talk about it. Talk about favorite floor plans, customizations, all of those good things.
If not, you'll have to hear us talk about whatever we want to talk about, which could be interesting or bore you to tears. I don't know which. Yeah, but
one of the two.
We can do all of those things. We have some folks that may be up for awards. We may talk about that later.
We may talk about that. Yeah.
We may not, but we may. Now that teaser's out there. Now you got to come and join us.
Now you got to ask us about it.
Yeah, I was down in Angleton early this morning. Got to see again the gorgeous models down there. It's just those great looking houses. Arlington and Refugio, really cool houses. I sat on the back porch again. our favorite spot.
I love that back porch. It's one
Me
of my
too.
favorite spots.
Me too. Good deal. The screen porch, very pretty. But
Mm-hmm.
do folks jump into the chat? Tell us where you're watching from, where you're building, what part of the process you are in. We will answer all of your questions, regardless of the subject matter.
Yeah. All right, let's see. We got some people coming in. We got Denise saying hello from Chapel Hill. Watched our driveway pour this morning. The final walkthrough is scheduled for next Tuesday and closing set for December 23rd.
What a
Merry
Christmas
Christmas
gift.
to Tilson and us. Yay. Merry Christmas. That's awesome,
really cool.
Denise. Glad
Thanks,
to hear
Denise.
it. And then we got Adrienne saying, hey, y'all, Adrienne Nichols from Douglas. We had steak out last Thursday. Family Christmas cruise starts on December 21st. 9 of us. Oh, that's exciting.
That's
Where
really cool.
headed?
Yeah, tell us where you're headed. Where are you sailing out of? Where are you going?
We're going. What ship you on?
Yep. What are the ports of call? We want to know about this thing.
Yep.
So do drop that in there. Yeah. So yeah, drop it in the chat. Do you vacation for Christmas?
Yeah. Where?
That used to be a tradition of not Christmas time, but Thanksgiving. We were the Aller and Fearsome Foursome, my little Aller and Fearsome Foursome. We would escape and evasion from love our family, love working with them. But sometimes it's just time to hit the old dusty trail. So we do that from time to time, and we did not this year because my daughter, who's at college, thought she wanted to be around all her friends and family. You learn all kinds of things when you're in college, Dawn. Sometimes you learn life lessons.
Well, I'm a big fan of the Christmas cruise.
I know.
Do that. So I'm headed out earlier this year, Adrian. So mine is next week. So I leave on the 14th.
Yep.
For ours, so we'll be back for Christmas, but we may wave at each other at port.
They do enjoy the December cruises. I get it.
Yes.
Flying down, getting somewhere warm. That's very cool.
It's very nice.
And
Wendy from Spring is on one this week.
Who's that?
Wendy from Spring.
Oh, is she really? She's on a cruise for her.
Yep.
Good for her. Yeah, she's a big cruiser. She likes to cruise.
Yeah, for sure.
Loves the cruise. Well, that's awesome. All right, so folks, drop into the chat where you're watching from, where you're building, part of the process you're in, any and all questions you have about building a custom home on your land. We want to hear anything you are wondering about, or questions you have, or reservations you have, or why we do what we do on various and sundry things, which is a lot. It's a lot that goes into this. So
yeah, absolutely. Let's see. We've got Gumshoe over on YouTube saying, howdy from Seattle. Our atmospheric river rainstorm has finally stopped for a day at least.
What do they call? They do call. Yeah, I think that is the latest technical term I saw on I take the flyover. I'm a big flyover guy. If you don't subscribe to the flyover, do so. We're not sponsored by them. Have no affiliation. Great quick way to get the news. Specifically the Texas flyover as well. Awesome, out of Houston. But yeah, atmospheric river. That was one I saw quoted in the news. I'm like what new meteorological things are we coming up with these days? Like, how more sensational should we make it? It's raining, folks. That's what it is. It's rain.
It's water from the sky.
He's right. That's exactly what they're calling it. So
that's funny.
Yeah, we got a little rain down here, enough to lift the burn ban in my county. So my son was hot and heavy back on the burn barrels, going through all of the various and sundry Amazon boxes that managed to show up, regardless of whether the burn ban's here or not. They don't seem to care. Neither does my wife. But so that's good times. We've enjoyed a little rain. It's nice.
Nice. All right. We've got Marie saying hi from San Antonio. We'll be building the LaPorte D in Bandera, hoping to get the foundation poured before the end of the year. Oh, awesome.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. Bandera's beautiful.
Yeah.
Very, very nice.
Well, LaPorte's a great plan too. So
yeah,
it's going to be a great home for you.
All right. So Dawn, what are some of the things that are the burning questions that people often have when they're entering this process? Maybe we'll start with kind of how is it different from just going in and buying a production home in a subdivision? What's the big difference between building a home on your land and doing that?
So the biggest difference is all of the land development that you kind of need to figure out, and we'll work with you on because when you're buying a home in that subdivision, they've already kind of planned out where all the roads are going to be, where the utilities are going to be. They've probably figured out exactly which of their 5 plans you're allowed to put on that lot. And all of those kinds of things. Whereas when you're building on your land, that's all, up to you exactly where you're going to put your home on your land. We've got to work with you to get it cleared, get plans out, all the utilities, where the septic's going to go, if you've got a well that we need to put in there, all of those kinds of things. The most fun difference is that you really get to create exactly the home that you want. So we do have, a library of plans that you can choose from, but you can really make any changes that you want to those. So you're really creating a custom home that's just for you and your family exactly on the property that you want to build it on. So there's lots of exciting differences between building with us and building in a regular,
Nice.
kind of production subdivision kind of thing going on.
Yeah, there is. That's the biggest. I know we say all the time, but it is understated of like how different it really is. How many decisions have to be made, and it's fun. Like it's not overwhelming. It's not. It's that much more input that you and your family have to making.
Yeah, really, just create exactly what you want.
Yeah, making the house the home. Like it is more about than just the sticks and bricks that are going up. Those are important and they're beautiful. But where that home goes, who's around you, kind of getting to pick that part of the situation is a real treasure, a real joy. So,
how are you going to position it to maximize your views?
Yes.
You've got all of those exciting things that go in. What trees do you want to take down?
We help you with that.
Yeah,
we help you with that. Do not be overwhelmed. That's why we're here.
Yeah. But yeah, you get to decide things like, am I going to leave tree cover at the front of my property, or am I going to take it all out, or how we going to do this? Because we're not clear cutting
for sure
your property and then putting 4 little baby trees that you hope live on your land. So
2 out of 4 ain't bad.
It's a world of difference. So
yeah,
let's see. We've got David's got a question. David from San Marcos is in the process of trying to narrow down our floor plans between the Cisco, the Canyon, and the Arlington. And he's also a little nervous about all the rock on his property. Do we have any advice?
All right, I'll let you comment on the plans first, then I'll talk about rock.
So Cisco, Canyon, and Arlington, quite honestly, you cannot go wrong between those plans. So it's really kind of what you're looking for. Off the top of my head, kind of the standout differences between the two. Your Cisco is going to be more of like the traditional split bedroom where you've got the master suite on a complete opposite side from the secondary bedroom. So if you want that separation, that plan is a good one. For you to look at. The Arlington is going to be split front and back. So all the bedrooms are going to be on one side of the home. But one of the standout things with the Arlington is if you're looking for a kitchen that has the sink underneath a window, that would be the plan for you. And then the Canyon's going to be the same thing. The bedrooms are split front to back. But you're going to just have a little bit more space in that one. Particularly one of those front bedrooms is really, really large if you're looking for that. And it's going to have, of those, the Canyon is going to have the separate study as standard. And that's going to be kind of split off on the opposite side of the bedroom. So if you're looking for more of a private workspace, that might make the Canyon more of a good one for you. But honestly, you can't go wrong between the three. Just it's which of those nuances you're looking for in the home.
Solid advice. And beauty of all 3 of those plans is, you probably know this already, David, but you can physically walk through all of them here in Texas. So we've got the Cisco up in Weatherford, we've got the Canyon in Bryan, we've got the Arlington down in Angleton. I know they're a bit of a drive, but man, for spending that kind of money, I highly encourage you.
You have the opportunity to look at it.
Yeah,
go look at
the
it.
Living room, go sit on the porches, check them out. I mean, for sure, go to the website and do the virtual tours. Take a good look at that B-grade talent. You'll love it. It's fantastic. Promise you get everything you pay for. But yeah, if you can make the trip, man, they're worth the trip. So about the rock, don't be nervous about the rock. Do not be nervous about the rock. I mean, we've been building all over Texas. We've built the hill country area of Texas for the last 60 years. So literally since the mid 1960s, we've been building out there. So we know how to work with that. And good news is the contractors in the area, they have the equipment to work with it. They've got the rock saws, they've got the jackhammers, they've got the hydraulic, implements for the skid steers and the excavators, the mini excavators to work through that. You're really just talking water lines and electrical lines that they have to go in trenches, like in rock. And there ain't nothing wrong with building a foundation on rock. It's biblical, in fact. You can go trace that all the way back. So I would not be too concerned or nervous. I mean, there are additional costs when you're trenching through rock than through dirt, but it's not life-ending or certainly not even game-changing. It's not that big a deal. It's just a little bit more equipment because obviously it's harder to chisel through that than it is to dig through dirt. But it's not a because you and I don't do it every day, it may seem like a big deal, but to the people who do it every day, it's not a big deal.
Yep.
That's what they're paid to do, and they have a lot of experience doing it. And I promise you, we don't bat an eye when we encounter rock on a piece of property. It's called Texas, and we just go build. So
awesome.
If you have questions specific to anything about the rock, holler. We'll answer that too. But yeah.
Okay. And then Adrian, Sharon, they're leaving from Galveston,
Nice.
trying the MSC Seascape for the first time, Cozumel, Costa Maya, and Honduras. Oh, awesome. So I've never done an MSC, but I have been to all those destinations. So
I've
you're going to have
not
a good
heard of
time.
MSC. What is MSC?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with this.
It's one of the cruise lines.
Okay.
So yeah.
See, for me in Aggieland, that's the Memorial Student Center. You take your hat off when you go in. That's the MSC. But yeah, highly recommend all three of those destinations. Those are solid.
Yeah, all three of those destinations are amazing. Yeah, and then MSC is one of the. I think it's one of the going towards the higher ends, right, Adrian?
Right.
I think it's a little bit above your Carnivals and your Royals.
I do like the commute to Galveston. Me personally, that's a nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
Parking's easy. Yeah, you're on the boat. You're out of there. Plus, there's nothing quite as good as leaving Galveston. So, either direction.
All right. So we've got the Womack Way over on YouTube saying hello, Tilson. Foundation slab loading by the end of the week on our girl Angelina.
Nice.
That has been extra awesome. Witnessing the build has been a true blessing. Happy holidays. Happy holidays to you.
Cool. Thanks for sharing.
Checking in.
Yeah, and be sure to send pictures. Yeah, if you do any kind of handprinting like that, shoot pictures of that and send them to us. We love that.
Yeah, send us pics. We'd love to see them.
So yeah, old Palestine, Texas, good old East Texas. We like that area.
Yeah,
sharp.
Awesome.
All right. So what other burning questions do people have, Dawn? What else goes on?
So typically we get a lot of questions about, what our time frame is. So did you want to talk a little bit about that?
I'd love to. Yeah. Great question, Dawn. I'm glad you asked. So with respect to time frame, I understand. I'll give you a holistic one at the end, but I do like to break it down into what you spoke about earlier, which is it really is two separate parts of the process, right? So there is construction of the home, and that's pretty serial in nature, and that's pretty run of the mill, pretty simple. And that's 7 to 9 months typically right now is about what that's right. 225 days, I think, is our goal.
Is the goal, yeah.
We have some that are finishing faster than that. Some take a little bit longer. Depends on the size of the house. Depends on where it's being built. Depends on a little bit of weather. But 225 days is what we're after. Now, that's construction. We got to get there first. So all the stuff Dawn talked about earlier with respect to land development, permitting, entitlement, getting water lines in, sewer lines in, culverts, permits, all those things from the county, the city, the subdivision, all the approvals that need to happen. That is about a 4-month process. Could be faster than that. The faster the better for us and for you. So we definitely want to do that as quickly as possible, but some of those things just take time. You can't rush the county, you can't rush the city, you can't really rush the subdivision typically. But those are so all in, about a year. 10 to 12 months is pretty average right now for us, all in, all done, the entire. So that's from when you decide exactly this is the plan we want with these changes, and you give us that deposit till the house is completely finished and you move in. That's about 10 to 12 months, including site development and construction. So construction doesn't take 10 to 12 months, but the entire process takes about that long. So the geotechnical investigation, the engineer foundation design, the picking your colors, the getting the loan approved, getting the appraisal done, getting the septic permit applied for and approved, and getting the energy stuff done. There's a lot of stuff happening in the background. And any other things the customer has to get done, right? Get with the power company, get with the water company, get those easements drawn up. That all takes time, and you're kind of you're at the mercy of some of those entities, most of which are monopolies. There's no easier way to say that. The county is a monopoly, right? They are omnipotent. They have all power. The power company is typically a monopoly. The water company is typically a monopoly. So they're not compete. They don't have no competition. So
you're basically dealing with people with no sense of urgency.
But just to perform, yeah, exactly. Thank you for. I'll try to put it kindly.
They're not losing your business.
Urgency is a struggle sometimes with them, but not with us. We're all over it.
Yep. Awesome.
Great question. Glad you asked.
Yeah. All right. And then Gumshoe's asking if a person wanted to have a 3-foot concrete walkway that wraps around the entire house, is there a common term for this? And would it be poured as part of the foundation?
All right. So yeah, the common term would be flat work, Gumshoe, and it would not be part of the foundation typically. I wouldn't make it part of the foundation, me personally. Could you? Yes, you could be. It could be uncovered patio slab, and it could be done as part of the monolithic pour, which is just a big fancy term for it means it's poured at the same time as the slab. I would shy away from that for a couple of reasons. The main one is just cost. Because if it's uncovered patio slab and monolithic pour with the rest of the slab, it's going to be designed to the same engineering parameters as the rest of the home: beam width, beam depth, cable spacing, post tension cables, all that kind of stuff, and it's just not necessary. So I would, if it were my world, I would do it as uncovered patio slab. I'm sorry, as flat work.
Flat work, yeah.
Yeah, which is basically just 4-inch thick concrete that has rebar, usually 3/8 rebar on like an 18-inch center going both directions inside it as a steel mat. More than adequate for what you're trying to do. That being said, I would ask what are you trying to accomplish? We oftentimes will see like landscaping, at least at some portions around the house in the front or something like that. Obviously you won't be able to do that if you have flat work or concrete growing up. It typically wouldn't abut the foundation. They're gonna put some type of usually a treated wood expansion joint between the two, because we want it to move separately from the rest of the foundation of the home,
right?
Expand and contract, that kind of stuff. So we would want that to have some type of expansion joint. It's typically done with like a 1x4 or 1x6 treated material, treated pine, that even if it rots away over time, you still have a 3/4 inch gap between the house and where the flat work is. So hopefully that helps. But yeah, flat work is what that would be called. Same thing, your driveway, sidewalks, any of that kind of stuff would be. So great question. Okay. But yeah, I'd be curious to hear what I've never seen that done before, but it doesn't mean we can't do it, and it doesn't mean it hadn't been done. So I'd be curious to hear more about that.
Okay. We got Denise sharing that their concrete pour was on June 19th and they're closing on 12/23. So 5 months of construction for them. Our upfront was longer at a little over 6 months, but my goal was to be in by the end of the year, and Greg is making that happen. Awesome.
Rock on. Yeah, Denise, that's actually true. That's a great point. I'm glad you brought that up, Denise. Thank you. So yeah, I know I don't remember everything specifically about Denise's journey, but I do remember a very nosy HOA. I remember that.
Yes.
Not even just about the house, the metal building they were building, or they're going to paint the shelves in their closet. That's exaggerating a little, but
I'm sure somebody from the neighborhood's been in there to check that out.
It does depend quite greatly on where you're building. That's a great point. Like, yeah, if your HOA is persnickety and nosy, it may take a little longer, and that's okay. If that's where you want to live, then we will do everything we can to support you in that endeavor and get all the answers to all of their questions, and you can live with them forever and deal with them as you will or not.
Yeah. All right. Then we've got Megan from over on YouTube saying, hi, are we limited to your library of plans, or can we bring a plan from an external source?
Go, Dawn, go.
Great question. So yeah, Megan, I did talk a little bit about our library of plans, but you are not limited to those at all. You can bring in, any sources of inspiration that you have. That you've been looking at. So if you've been browsing online and you saw something on Pinterest, or you saw something on a website that you're kind of interested in, you can bring it on into us and we'll work with you to get a price on that, just so that you're prepared when you do come into our office. What our team is going to do on site is they're actually going to take whatever you brought in and find the plan that we have that's closest to it. And that's just because that's how they're equipped to price things out for you. So they're going to start drawing changes on our plan to make it look like yours. So don't be surprised that they're doing that. The reason they're doing that is so they can give you a ballpark price while you're in the office. If it's not close enough for you, we can absolutely, figure it out and work off of those plans that you already have. I would say if you are looking at plans and there's a lot of stuff that you want to change about that source document, don't worry about buying them. because we're going to redraw it anyway. We only need you to purchase the plan from somewhere else if you are going to build it like pretty much exactly like it is. We want to avoid any kind of copyright infringement or something like that. But if you're going to be substantially changing it and it's just for inspiration, don't spend the money having anybody draw up plans, because we're gonna, no matter what you bring us, we're gonna redraw it anyway, because we've got to make sure that the foundation is exactly correct and all of that. So
that's right.
But yeah, you can do whatever you like. As far as our plans go, whatever you want to do.
Great answer.
Within limits, within budget, pretty much.
Yeah.
And building code. All right, we've got Isolde and Karen saying, hi, Eric and Dawn. We did close on our house a few minutes ago. Oh, how exciting.
That's so cool.
Very excited. Chris Hinson, our builder, made it happen before the holidays. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much. Hats off to the Katie team, especially Ashley and David. It was a memorable closing since Ashley came by and surprised us. Tilson Homes, you made our dream come true. Oh, that's so wonderful to hear. I'm so excited for y'all. That's so cool. Great.
Well, Merry Christmas.
Send us pictures. Yeah. Merry Christmas.
Thanks for including us in your journey. That's really, really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then Gumshoe Sharon, being up in the Seattle area, the flat work I mentioned is typical for the purpose of walking around the house during wet, muddy seasons. Always an issue up here. Okay, very wise.
Fair enough. Yeah, I understand that. You might consider, just from a cost perspective and maybe even aesthetic and flexibility, is what is I do see done quite a bit down here is pavers or flagstone. If that's an important thing to you, you can get those set in there. They're not. I mean, they can be as permanent as you want them to be, or as flexible as you want them to be. Like if you decide in 3 years you kind of want to, do something different, you're not trapped to having solid 3 foot of concrete
right
all the way around. It's also definitely going to be a lot less expensive to do some type of pavers or flagstone. And there's some really, really good looking stuff out there that can be done without breaking the bank. So it's just something to consider. But if you want to do sidewalk, flat work all the way around, no problem. I totally get the muddy thing. It is a constant battle.
They do it to keep the house cleaner. Yeah,
it is a constant battle at the Allard house. What shoes should and should not be coming inside. Sometimes what humans should and should not be coming inside. But spoiler alert, I'm usually the human that ought not be coming inside, covered in grease and diesel and hydraulic fluid and mud. Yeah, so I get it. Yeah, when the dog is welcome in more than I am, or less of a fight, it's a problem. So I get it, but yeah, there are lots of ways to tackle that.
Yeah,
that struggle, but it is a real struggle, especially in rural areas. So good on you to be thinking about it ahead of time. That's smart.
Yeah, good plan.
Very, very smart. Okay, Dawn. Let's talk money. Right up there with politics and religion at Thanksgiving. So let's how are these things paid for? Do I need to get a construction loan? Do I need to how do I I get it. I love this house. I think it's awesome. I've got some money into this land that I bought 7 years ago or 3 years ago. I don't have $550,000 just sitting under a mattress that is burning a hole in my pocket. How do I buy a house?
So at Tilson, it's going to be a little bit different than what you would see with other custom builders. So the majority of our homes are built using our EasyBuy program. So that's something that is exclusive to Tilson. And that's where we are actually, as a builder, we're funding the construction of the home out of our own pocket. So we're going to require you to get a construction loan. As long as you have 10% equity in the final value of your house, which is going to be the land plus the house together, whatever our third party appraiser says that value is, we need you to have 10% equity into, usually if you in the scenario you're talking about, if you've been paying on that property for 7 years, most likely you already have that in there. So we're just going to do, our $3,000 deposit, get that from you up front. And then we are going to build the home to completion entirely using our money. So that's going to be different. So you're going to have no interest, no construction loan fees, no any of that. What we're going to ask you to do is go ahead and get pre-approved for your mortgage up front, and we would want proof that you are going to be eligible for that. And then we're gonna build the house. At the end of construction, you're going to close on the mortgage, and that's all there is to it. Now, if you do not have that 10% equity, we do have several options, available through our lending partner, Wagon Hill, that we can do a construction loan if that's something, that you need, or if you have a VA entitlement where you have a 0% down construction loan situation, like we can absolutely do those as well. But the majority of our deals are done through our EasyBuy program. So saves our customers, tens of thousands of dollars in the process and interest and fees. So it's worth taking a look at. And how
you'd be
that's
saving
going
in the $30,000 number. Like I'm confident to say that it's a lot of money.
Yeah, because there is a lot of interest in construction loans, whether you're paying it during the process or it's getting rolled into the final mortgage, which then you get to pay interest on interest, which is not great.
On someone else's interest.
Yeah.
It's one thing to pay interest on your own interest. It's quite another strategy financially to pay interest on someone else's interest.
Yes, for sure.
Another thing I'll say to that, and this is kind of the intangible of that process and kind of why we do it, is that what Tilson's, let's start back further. When a builder is telling you they have to have a construction loan to build your home, what they are also telling you is that they do not have the financial wherewithal to build this house and get paid at the end. Which means they do not have the financial wherewithal to build this house, is what that's saying.
Yeah.
Conversely, what Tilson is telling you by not requiring that construction loan and only requiring the commitment letter up front is that we have the financial wherewithal to build this house for you out of our own back pocket and not get paid till the house is completely finished. And by the way, we can do that on a couple hundred houses at a time.
And we're willing to do that.
And are willing to do that, yes, to make it that much easier for our rural customers to build, because that's where the struggle always comes in, especially with construction loans, is in rural areas, especially these days, because there's a lot less comps or comparable sales in those areas. And so getting a construction loan for the house that most people want out in the middle of nowhere, Texas, which is exactly where you want to be, is actually more difficult than it's been in a very long time, because there aren't a lot of houses selling in those areas. And so lenders are requiring more and more and more down or upfront before they'll start, or more equity involved. So anyway, something to consider is that we can and do that out of our own back pocket, which tells you that you're working with a financially stable company that's going to be here for the long haul. If something goes wrong with your home, you'll call the number and a Tilson employee will pick up the phone and send a Tilson employee and Tilson vehicle to fix your Tilson home. That's what we do. That was almost a song. Not quite. Right there. We have some
maybe someday.
Yeah. Maybe with enough chat GPT, we can get that done.
You just pull that guitar down. We'll just go. Let's see. Blowmacway is asking, is it possible to purchase additional supplies, i.e. brick, stone from Tilson, to apply to the home later to avoid discontinued designs?
That's a great question. And the answer is, broadly speaking, yes. So if you want to do my guess would be like maybe an outdoor fireplace or outdoor kitchen, or even like a fire pit, that's detached from the house at some point in time. Yeah, absolutely you can. We do have some, we do, there will be some things, not a lot, but some left over already, like some of the brick, stone for sure. Brick and stone, there always are things, because they're ordered in larger quantities that are they don't really round to exactly what we need. So there'll be some of that extra already. We usually give the customer the option of, do you want to keep it? Do you want us to haul it off? It's up to you. So in your case, you want it kept. There's also going to be a little bit of extra. There'll be some extra tiles left in a box that didn't, the whole box didn't get used. Things like that. Maybe some laminate floor or wood floor that'll get stored in the attic for you in the event of some kind of damage or something like that. You would have the spare pieces there ready to go that are the same die lot, the same run. But yeah, if you have a specific project that you're wanting to do and you have a specific quantity extra that you want, let us know, and then we can get pricing on that to have that delivered and stored on the property as well. But yeah, that's a great question. And it does come up. But yeah, I would encourage you to start thinking now, if you don't haven't already, of kind of what projects you'd want to use this for. I wouldn't want to just do like a nebulous, well, we may add on to the house later. Like, I don't know how much I would need, and then it's still not going to match right at the end of the day. So good on you to be thinking of it already at this stage, but maybe start thinking about what kind of projects you might want to do at a later date. And that would help us with figure out what kind of quantity that you might need, because you don't want to order just a whole bunch of stuff and pay for it and then have it sit there for 15 years. That some of the stuff just won't keep, or it won't look the same necessarily. So if it's kept outside, and sometimes in the attic, like paint, for example, paint does not age well in the attic. Doesn't age well anyway, but it really doesn't age well in the attic or the garage.
Okay, good to know.
Great question, though. That was really
that's a good question.
All right. What other burning questions do you have? I think you said the OSCs may have had some.
They do. We've actually gotten a lot of them. People have already asked us.
Give us the wild ones. Do it.
Let's see. Some of the wild ones. They're asking, do I need to sell my house first before I can build because I don't want to move twice?
Oh, well. I guess that depends on what you want to sell your house for, right? So that's that. Yeah, we get that question a lot, right? Like that's kind of the ultimate goal would be like, could we time all these things to happen
at the same time
perfectly? And I think we can all agree that statistically the odds of that happening are pretty low. Not impossible, but the odds of the house being ready at the exact moment in time that someone else needs your house that exact same moment in time, low. But let's say that theoretically that did happen. The answer is yes, that can happen. It is going to be case by case, and we have the luxury of doing this for a couple of reasons. One is our partnership with Wagon Hill Home Loans. So we are a joint venture partner with them. So we have just at the end of the day, there's things that we can do that they probably wouldn't do for other builders. Nothing illegal, nothing unethical, just simply they can be more flexible because we're business partners. Right. They trust us in ways that they can't trust other builders that they're not partners with, and vice versa. Okay, so that opens up the playbook a little bit. The other thing that opens up that playbook is that Tilson's using its own money to fund the construction of your new home. So we're technically the construction lender, loosely speaking, which means we have our own underwriting terms that we can do legally that, barring anything that is going to be conditional in your approval. But we can kind of make that call of, okay, well, how comfortable are we with where their existing home is, what their equity position in that existing home is, how long homes are taking to sell in that particular market, zip code, whatever, MLS. And so what we'd likely have you do, if you don't have one already, we would get you hooked up with a realtor in your area that you plan on selling the house in. We would have them do a CMA, or a competitive market analysis, on your existing home. Doesn't mean you're selling it right now.
Yeah.
Just means that at some point in the future, you intend to sell it. Let's say that you even have to sell it to qualify for this home. We would require that. We would request that CMA from the realtor. You and the realtor would go through and look at all the things. You fill out the paperwork with them. Doesn't cost you anything to do a CMA. Just a little bit of time and commitment. And then based on the results of that, our team, our real estate team, Brett Martin, Michelle Bearden, their team would take a look at all of those things and your current approval for the new home. And we would say, okay, it looks like houses in that area are taking about 90 to 110 days to sell. If priced at this price point, we'd say, Mr. and Ms. Customer, are you comfortable accepting this price? Because if there's some, mystical price that's, 80% higher than what they're coming back as a CMA on, the answer is probably not. We're going to tell you no, because your house isn't going to sell for that later. Like, if you're comfortable with this price range in this time frame, then we may be comfortable moving forward with this home. Again, it's extremely case by case, and I know that sounds a little bit nebulous, but it really is case by case. Location. It's everything. And so, but in addition to that, your equity position, in other words, how much you still owe on that piece of property, what properties are bringing in that market, and it's not it's hard because you have to remove all the emotion out of that. It's the house where you made memories with your family, and your kid drove their first car, or your kid took their first, steps, or rode their first bicycle rides, and all that stuff. And those are wonderful memories, and they should be cherished, but they're your memories.
Right.
They're not the next person's memories. And so they're not going to have all those, intrinsic, cherished nostalgic thoughts about it. And so if we could remove all of that out of there and just say very objectively, this is what homes in this area are selling for, and this is how long it takes, and we can have that candid conversation, then in a lot of cases we are able to be that flexible and say, okay, well, look, you can stay in it, and then 110 days or 150 days from closing, the house needs to go on the market.
Right.
And you need to be prepared to sell it for somewhere in this price range because that's what you need to net to qualify for the home that we're building. So great question.
All right. Awesome.
I'm sure it'll get me in trouble. Today is December 9th, 2025. Yep.
Awesome.
It is.
Let's see. The other questions they had that they said that they're getting a lot is, what does the pricing online include or not include?
Ooh, Dawn, what does pricing online include or not include?
All right. So you can see all of the pricing for our homes on our website, and that's going to be our base prices. So you will see currently, again, it's December 9th, 2025. I am working on a new website that will change this. But currently on the website, you're going to see a price range on most of our houses. That range that you are looking at is for the exterior options. So all of our homes come with multiple exteriors, mix of materials that we're going to use on that. So that price range that you're seeing is the difference between those. So whether you're doing the brick or you're doing an all board and batten or you're doing, the mix of stone and stuff, that's what that price range is. And that is for the finished home on your land. So it's going to include, a certain amount of allowance for out of level in your foundation. It's including the foundation and the pad. All of your appliances. It's a completely finished home. What it's not going to include is any of the prep work that's going to go into that home, simply because we don't know the conditions of your land. So it's not going to include costs like site clearing, getting the property ready. It's not going to include utilities. It's not going to include driveways, construction drives, any of that, septic, well, those types of things, because we don't know what that's going to cost on your property until we see more information about your property, or even if you need it, you might already have those things on there. So what you're looking at on the website is just the cost for the house, but it is the complete home, entirely finished. And then we can work with you to get estimates. Once we know more about your property, we can tell you the cost for the other things. And if you're building in certain subdivisions that we frequently work with, like a Texas Grand Ranch or Republic Grand Ranch, we actually have packages already put together that we can give you the cost for things like the septic and the culvert and the construction drive. We've got that all wrapped into a package that we can take care of it for you and give you those prices.
Beautiful. This is easy. These are easy questions.
Yep. And they're also asking about how taxes work when you build.
Taxes. Okay.
Taxes.
Well, I have wonderful news for you. There is no sales tax on new homes. So that's good. Mm-hmm. That's a number.
Yeah.
But don't you worry. The state not to be left out of the revenue generating game. And regardless of what, oh man. Anyway, regardless,
Eric doesn't like this question.
Your state legislators have been promising to tackle for the last 20 years in Austin, which is property taxes. They're never going to tackle property taxes because they don't actually care about you and your property taxes. In fact, they need their property taxes. So there's like 3 that care. I shouldn't say that. There's like 3. I can't name them, but statistically,
hey, at least there's no income tax.
There is no income tax.
No state income tax.
Yeah. But statistically speaking, there's 3 people in Austin that care about how much we're paying for property taxes. No more. So that's how the taxes work. It's property taxes. In Texas, the county has a elected official that is the county tax assessor or collector. And their team of bandits, appraisers, they go out and they assess the value of our real property. And in some cases, our personal property, but for certainly your real property. And so they, and they have all kinds of technology. I mean, you got Google, they have drones, there's airplanes that they pay to go out there and do surveys of that. They will roll up on a job site while it's under construction and take measurements. I've seen it happen.
Oh, wow.
And so they take all that data and then they assign a value to it. It's not always what the true market value is, but it's pretty close. It's not too far off. It's usually a little less in most cases. But in a lot of cases, it's more, and you need to go
Mhm.
fight it. And every year you need to go contest it. If they send you a little, hey, here's what we're thinking it's worth. If you have a problem with that, you need to show up at this very inconvenient time and come tell us why you think it's not worth that, and bring documentation to show us why it's not worth that. My recommendation is a crying child, maybe one with colic. Those are very helpful. Have one of those, maybe pinch it during your wait, and the louder the kid screams, maybe the more flexible they'll be on reducing your taxes. So they assess that value, and then that value is due once a year, and the county collects the taxes for the various entities that are funded by your tax dollars. So yeah, the county is one.
Mhm.
If you are in a city, that municipality will have a tax assessed to it. If you're in an emergency service district, so that would be like we're a fire, ambulance, fire station, that kind of thing, those are collected to support that. If you're in a municipal utility district, so if you have like a sewer, typically that's reserved if you have a public sewer system. Very few of our customers, like 9% of our customers, have that, but that tax is collected by the county. And then the big fat bloated one is the school district. The school district is they account for probably 80 to 90% of your tax bill. And this is broken out on the county's website. You can see exactly how much dollar for dollar that they collect for all these different entities. You might have a community college they collect for. If you're in the Brenham or Bryan area, they maybe Blinn is being collected. If you're in the Houston area, you may see Lone Star College being collected for. So Wharton County Junior College. So those are collected for by that, but they're all collected by the county. Whether that's Wharton County, Montgomery County, Harris County, Travis County, doesn't matter. They collect the taxes, and then they distribute the funds to the various entities for whom they're collecting. Which I love to get on that list of entities that someone else collects money for me by force and then pays that to me. I think that would be a huge business.
That'd be a great retirement plan.
So much fun. So much fun. If you don't pay them, they can take your house and land from you. So it's like the ultimate extortion. Excuse me. Taxation. So I'm explaining taxes to you as Dawn requested, which I forced her to do this. This is not and these what is it on X they say opinions are my own. These opinions are my own. But that's how taxation works, and it's theft. So that's how they're collected, and that's how they're distributed. But it will be assessed. So obviously, let's say for example, you have a vacant piece of property right now. Maybe the taxes on it are $800 per year. That will not be the case once you build a new home on it. Right, it's going to be more than that, just like you pay now. That those taxes are paid in one of two ways typically. In your mortgage payment, sometimes you'll have what's called escrows or an escrow account, which simply means that the mortgage company has a separate account that you're paying them for the principal and interest on your home every month, but you're also paying them for the taxes and insurance. Sometimes you see the acronym PITI, that's principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. So they're collecting every month that you pay them for your property taxes and for your homeowner's insurance. And then once a year, when those two items come due, they're cutting a check to the county or they're cutting a check to the insurance company to ensure that the taxes and the insurance are current on the home. The other way that it's done is if you've waived escrows, which typically requires more than 20% down. So you have 20% or more down on your home. You can waive escrows, which simply means you're going to service those two things on your own. You are fully responsible for paying the property taxes and homeowner's insurance. Dawn, why would a mortgage company be interested in collecting the taxes and insurance and paying on your behalf if you have a low amount of equity? Why would that matter to them?
Just in case, on the offhanded chance that they end up owning that property, they want to make sure that you have paid those things, and there's not the introduction of another lien onto the property for those things having not been
catastrophic loss, right? So
yeah, like they want to make sure that you're protecting, because at that point you are living in that house and you are enjoying that house, but the bank owns that house, and they want to make sure that they have protected their investment.
Yeah. Exactly. Same things we want to do. So
yeah.
All right. And that's how taxes work in Texas.
All right. Awesome.
The end.
The end. And regardless of how you feel about them, you have to pay them.
You do have to pay them. Which is why I'm so violently offended by them. So that's just Also because I kind of like getting in return what I pay for, like what most businesses like. If I go to a restaurant and pay for dinner, I like to have a nice dinner and good service.
Dinner. Yeah.
And if I go pay for a home, I expect the builder to perform, and if I pay for a phone, I expect it to work and do things. And so I pay taxes and I expect,
to get nothing.
It doesn't really work for me. It goes against every frame of my being. That's all.
It's not a great dynamic. So do you guys have any questions? Put them in the chat.
There's no one left in this echo chamber but Eric. We're all out.
Everybody's just listening to us dig our own hole.
Why are we taking so long to get permits back?
Oh.
Maybe you trashed all the county offices. I don't know.
We didn't name any specific county office. We love all county offices.
We do. It's the taxes we detest.
We love all permitting offices. They're great.
Absolutely.
Love all the inspectors. They're fabulous. We have no beef with them. No beef.
Okay, well, now we're challenging my integrity. So, yeah.
Gumshoe says we're of like mind. The Pacific
Northwest. Oh, no. Yeah, y'all.
Hey.
You're right about that.
Hey, I still stand by. At least we're not also paying income taxes, because I've been in situations where I paid state income tax and county income tax, and I have no idea what happened with that.
That's crazy. Yeah,
that was just like, I don't know.
Lived in New York. New York City has a city income tax. Like, you
yeah, like what is that? What are they doing with it? Nothing. Nothing.
Yep.
Nothing.
Yeah. So anyway, all right, we'll do a last round of questions. So any last minute questions or comments? Anything you want to know? Any burning desires? Anything you want to know? Anywhere you're going for Christmas? We're spending the holiday. Am I going somewhere cold, somewhere warm? That's kind of cool. So yeah, I'm staying around here. I'm not going anywhere. We're gonna do all the things here. I hope. I don't really know till the last minute, honestly, and I don't get a vote for sure. So
you just get to go.
Correct. Yep. Just get to go do the things. But anyway, yeah. So we'll be around here. But yeah, like I said, we got some seminars coming up. You mentioned those earlier in the show. Drop them one more time. Where are those seminars going to be this weekend?
So our Bernie office is doing land prep. So we're very excited to do that one. So you can come out to that office to do that. And then our Waco team is going to be talking more about financing your home. So it'd be good to go and visit them if you're curious more about the EasyBuy program or the other things that we offer. That'd be a great time to come out and see them this weekend, and you can register for those on our website. And then Eric teased a little bit of news earlier, so I will share the big news that we got yesterday. So every year, the National Association of Home Builders names the best in the country at their Nationals Awards. And we have 3 more Silver Award winners this year. So in February, we'll find out if they won the gold or not, but they are all award winners at this point. So being in the top, in some cases 5, in some cases 6 in the country. So our online sales team is a Silver Award winner this year, as well as Caitlin Robichaux out of our San Marcos office is one of the top 6 sales counselors in the country.
No big deal.
In the country.
No big deal. Just the United States. Which means, by the way, world class. That's all.
World class, yes.
World class.
And then Sydney Palmy out of our spring office was named one of the top 5 rookies in the country, sales counselors. So very excited for them. Very proud of them and happy to have them on the Tilson team.
Yes,
and
congrats to all.
Excited to share their news.
Very, very cool.
Awesome. And then let's see, we have Ginger from YouTube saying that her and her husband are going to Texas to visit their son. So that's awesome.
Bring it on. Let's have you. Welcome.
And then Denise is saying congratulations. Thank you, Denise. We're very, very excited and proud of them. So
very cool. And Dawn will not toot her own horn, but she is the reason that even happens. So she helps with the applications tremendously and is one of the greatest storytellers on earth. Also world-class herself, who was, of course, a finalist for Marketer of the Year a couple years back. So
thank you.
No big deal, but yeah. Don't sleep on Dawn Dantzler doing a lot of the heavy lifting. These things happen. So,
all right, and we got Faith saying congratulations to Caitlin and Sydney in online sales. Congratulations, ladies. And then Womack saying congratulations. That's amazing. Yeah.
Really cool.
Super proud of them. They're amazing.
So-
they're easy. It's easy to brag on people when they're so amazing. So
it is. And the big takeaway, folks, for you
awards.
guys is if you're working with Tilson Homes, you're working with a truly world-class team, like with the best in the country. And of course, as Americans, we believe that means we're the best in the world.
Yeah.
So you are working with world-class, and you're getting to do it here in the greatest state in the union. So what could be better than working with the best company, with the best employees in the best state in the best nation on the planet? I don't know. Come to Tilson Homes, buy a house, you get to see, but that's how it works. Yeah. So awesome. Congratulations to all of you guys. It's amazing. The journey does not have to end here. We got a website. It's open 24/7. Where our award-winning, multiple-time online sales team is on standby to answer all of your questions, get you set up with those initial meetings. We got 12 locations open 7 days a week. Yearning for you to stop by, have a cup of coffee, a bottle of water with them, and tell them about all of your desires and the crazy things you want to do to the house, and bring in the plan that we talked about earlier that maybe it's not in our portfolio. Let's take a look at it. But move the kitchen out of this house, put it in this one. I love the Arlington, but maybe I want the sink to face the family room and not the front. We can do that. That's no problem.
Take that master bath out of this one, put it in a different one.
That's why they are there. We got an Instagram page where it's for vanity, best I can tell. We also have no, it's where we celebrate our customers. We also have a YouTube channel with tons of content, very educational. Very good stuff, and a lot of customer tours of their homes that they've built, a lot of testimonials, people telling their story, which always tugs at my heartstrings, hear people why they're doing what they're doing. There's a guy over there talking about construction stuff. Watch it or not, it's up to you. All of these are on there. Every single one of these that we've done for the last 5 years.
I know, that's crazy.
It is crazy. It is crazy. So they're all there. You get to even see go way back machine to like April, May, June of 2020. You can see the really awful ones where I was by myself until Dawn just could not stand it anymore and had to finally come on camera. Everyone's grateful for. So do that. There's a lot of really cool content there, a lot of questions answered. It really helps with the journey. And again, the whole point of all these is just to make your decision making easier, right? So just remove that friction, increase that familiarity. It doesn't have to be that scary. It really, really doesn't. We're super transparent. We make it super easy for you. We'd love to collaborate with you, and we hope this was helpful, and we genuinely hope to make you part of the Tilson family. We'll see all y'all later.
Bye, everybody.